been here as autism moms with therapy. We're just like, please, I just don't want I feel like my child's being tortured, but it's good for them. That's hard, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if I had done it for 6 months and seen no improvement or no abilities emerging, I wouldn't keep doing it. But you could see how they broke everything down into the simplest step to make it easy as possible for him to understand what they wanted to do. And they did that,
right.
Even though he was averse to everything.
Right.
His compliance section of his ABA therapy was huge. He was the most incompliant or non-compliant child in the world. But within a couple of weeks of them showing him something, he would be able to do it, and I could see it.
Yeah.
So I had to make him keep going because that was the only thing that was helping him.
And was part of it too, Bryce, that you looked at what they were doing and you saw that it wasn't actual torture. It felt like it was torture to him because he didn't know how to do it. I think,
he didn't want to do it.
I think that's a part of it too, is that it's not as if you're seeing somebody beat your child. You're seeing somebody say point to the block. And he's frustrated with it.
Yeah, in his mind, in his body, he doesn't even want to sit in the chair.
Right. Yeah. One mom said to me once, autism is a disorder of laziness, and I said, well, wait a minute. And I said to her, but listen to what she said. She said, and she has 2 kids on the spectrum, and she said, our kids don't want to do. She goes, maybe laziness isn't the right word, but they will fight like anything to go back to autism world. And not be pulled out of it.
Well, how would you feel if you, as a quote unquote normal person, were pulled into autism world?
I would hate it.
How would you feel if somebody was pulling you into a world that wasn't in your brain?
Yeah, I think it's a world of opposition, and in some ways, you do take the child kicking and screaming in the beginning in most cases. So how many years then until Brett was considered recovered?
5 years and 25 days.
And 3 hours.
And how many minutes?
And 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Right.
we knew exactly with him, he was doing really well, but he had no language. They had to come really far with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, after about 4 years, they're deciding, Dr. Krampachet is deciding that, we're doing really well. He was keeping up academically. He was keeping up in all these other ways. And the last concept to master was theory of mind. It's the idea that people think things different than you do. Yeah. And they were worried about it. They said, we're not sure about this. But they worked and worked and worked and 30 hours a week for all the 5 years. And then he got it and they said, well, we're going to be done soon. And then we had to decide what we were going to do.
And that's a panic moment, right?
Well, the funny thing is when we first started, I said, how long am I going to have to come to these meetings every 2 weeks? This is really...
Like, let's get it over. Let's get it over.
Like 6 months, whatever. But after the 5 years, it was kind of like, and it's weird, but it's kind of like, I just stop this now?
Yeah.
It becomes so ingrained in your life. I mean, for me, I can't imagine life without card for Wyatt. I can't imagine it.
And the day that they said to me, Jem is done in 6 months, I had a panic attack.
I did too.
And I came down to your office in tears and said, I don't know anybody else in the world to talk to about this but you. And you helped me through that day. But let's talk a little bit about the word recovered. Mm-hmm. Is that a word that you use?
Yes.
And it's a word that...
I'm glad somebody coined it. I guess, I don't know if Card did. I think Card did. You really can't say cured, because his brain is still structured differently. Yeah. Right? So you don't say cured, but when you say recovered, it means the book that I read at the Child Development Center that said all these things, right? You can't say any of those things about him anymore, that he can't speak, he can't do any of these things. He functions the same as everybody else, right? So you can't call him autistic anymore. You need to find somebody, and I did, of course, 2 different clinicians saying, I cannot diagnose him as autistic. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't mean he doesn't have quirks. It doesn't mean he doesn't have social issues. But if a clinical psychologist, 2 of them, say, I could not diagnose him, then what is he?
Right.
He's not cured because we know his brain somebody had to spend 5 years, 30 hours a week, rewiring his brain because it wasn't normal.
Right.
Now that wiring, it's not normal. It's a different
Difficult.
pathways or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but if he does all the things that a normal person can do, then he has to be something. He's not autistic.
Yeah.
He's not cured. He's got to be something, and you know, let's call it recovered. Let's call it anything we want. I read this book. I think you read it too. The Curious Incident of the
Yes.
Dog at Midnight.
Yes.
At night.
In
Yeah.
the night, yes.
Where and this always gets me. The teenager in the story is autistic, and he's talking about the kids at the school that are making fun of him, and they were saying, you know, terrible words, you know, retarded, whatever, and pointing to him and stuff. And so the kids got in trouble. So the kids on the bus, as soon as they see him, they say special needs, you know, to where you can call it whatever you want, but he is not autistic, and that's all I care about.